Britain's Duke and Duchess of Cambridge, better known as Prince William, and his wife Kate are visiting Canada. They're there to celebrate that nation's 144th birthday, and Canada is going nuts for the couple. They're being treated like rock stars everywhere they go. This morning they leave Ottawa, the capital, for Montreal. Rosemary Barton of the CBC is in Ottawa. Rosemary, good morning. Tell me about the reception that William and Kate are getting.
Oh, it's been spectacular. I mean, we are used to royal visits, but this has become almost a celebrity visit, if you will. You said there's a royal mania. It's really more about Kate mania at this stage. It's really people's first chance to see the Duchess out on a royal tour. This is their first royal tour as a married couple. To see them perform and get out there in the crowds. There have been tens of thousands. Yesterday for Canada Day, our nation's birthday, there were 300,000 people gathered on Parliament Hill, and that may not sound like a lot, but there's not a lot of space up there. So people were really crammed in to get a good chance to see the Duke and Duchess, and they have really performed as well. They are throwing themselves into the crowds, wanting to touch everyone's hand, wanting to say a word to everyone. They're eating it up as well,
fantastic.
And they seem quite surprised that it's happening.
Rosemary, very quickly, tell me what's on the schedule today.
Well, they're doing a tree planting ceremony, something that is done all the time at Government House here where our Governor General is. That's where the Queen has previously planted a tree, and they're going to meet with a number of Canadian war vets as well. That's something that's important to the Duke, and they're going to do that before they head off to Quebec, where the reception may not be as warm. Quebec has a different attitude towards the monarchy, and so there may be some minor protests there.
Okay. Rosemary Barton of the CBC in Ottawa. Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
My pleasure.
And joining us now with more on the royal tour is our pal, CBS News royal contributor Victoria Arbiter. Victoria, good to see you.
Good to see you, Russ.
I understand the royal couple is going to a cooking school also today at some point. Do they cook? What's the deal with that?
Well, I think the plan with this trip was always to incorporate the serious with the fun, and this is where the fun is really going to get started. Kate is known to be actually a very good cook. Yes, she's a duchess. Yes, she's the future wife of the King of England, but she really enjoys the domestic side of their life together as well. They're very keen to have this private, normal life. They've said no to servants. Kate was spotted out at the supermarket not too long ago buying liver for William's dinner. Wow. So really they do get to be very normal. So the plan is for them to roll up their sleeves, get stuck in with the students and learn a few new dishes. Let's
talk about Kate's outfits, because you know I'm all over that.
I know you
big
are.
Time. Kate's been getting rave reviews for her outfits. Now, how does it work? Does she pick these outfits out, or does someone else do that for her?
Kate is definitely picking out all her fashion items, but she's getting some masterful advice. She's following in the footsteps of the Queen, who tends to dress in accordance with a country's colours, or she pays homage to the people that she's visiting. And these have all been very subtle nods. I mean, the fact that Kate arrived and stepped off that plane in a designer that's hugely fashionable from Canada but based in London, brilliant. Yesterday she had the maple leaf on her fascinator. William also, though, he had a tiny lapel Canadian pin on his lapel. And also Kate was wearing a brooch that was on loan from the Queen. It was a maple leaf that the Queen wore when she was Princess Elizabeth back in 1951 on her very first trip to Canada. So she's getting some good advice and she's pulling it off well.
In watching her in the crowd, she looks very cool, like she's been doing this her whole life, which she hasn't. How do you think she's handling all this attention?
I think she's handling it brilliantly. Rebecca mentioned earlier, you know, the camera is on her all the time. So if there's a moment where she's yawning or she looks bored or she looks sleepy, that picture would then be analysed and sent off around the world. So I think she's very much enjoying this. They were starting to wilt a little bit in the 90-degree heat yesterday because it was a very long day. Factor in the jet lag as well. They've not had much time to rest. So I think she's holding up brilliantly.
Kate's first trip to North America, how excited was she from what you're hearing about coming here?
Tremendously excited. And actually Canada's quite a sentimental trip for Kate. Her grandfather served in Calgary during World War II. He was a flight instructor for the RAF. Kate had never been there before, and William referenced her grandfather, who did sadly pass away last year, in a speech he made yesterday. So I think for her, she's really thrilled that that's the first place they're sort of addressing on this tour before they head down to America, which is another first.
I was going to ask you about that. They head to Southern California, going to go to movie studios, meet a lot of folks. I mean, how exciting must that be?
Oh, it would be tremendous, you know, to hit Hollywood, so to speak. I mean, neither William or Kate are that jazzed about celebrities. We saw that from the very few that were invited to their wedding. And frankly, right now, you don't get bigger celebrities than William and Kate.
That's
but
true.
I think they're looking forward to the polo. They're looking forward to championing some British talent at the BAFTA event. So a lot still to look forward to.
All right, Victoria Arbiter, as always, thanks a lot.
Thank you very much.
We appreciate it. See you next time.